Hello everybody and welcome to the Real Tarot 1123. I hope all of you are doing very well. To my subscribers, thank you for joining me again. As you guys know, guys and gals, I always appreciate you. I appreciate your support and thank you so very much. To all those of you who are just visiting this channel for the very first time, welcome. I hope you do subscribe and do become a part of the Real Tarot family. We are a great group of people, I have to say. It has been my pleasure coming to know and getting to know my subscribers. So I gotta say, it's a fun group of people, very respectful, and to me that is very, very important. You know, we each appreciate and respect, each other's opinions, and that's what really counts. We can agree to disagree too, right? There's no harm done in that. And this is a channel where I'd like my subscribers to feel safe enough to post their comments. Although sometimes, what can I say? Some comments get a little, oh, lordy me. I don't know what to say. However, it is what it is. Anywho, there's a little rant for you, right? We have to have a little rant. Anyway, to the visitors, before I scare you off this channel, I post videos on a regular. Like I said, I have these series where I post a video every single day for about 45 minutes max. I also do live streams every Fridays and the first and third Saturdays as well. So please do hit the bell icon and subscribe so you'll be notified of all my new and upcoming videos. I also want to share with y'all my other channel. It is called The Real Astrology 1123, where I focus only on astrology and I post weekly readings, monthly readings, and year ahead readings there on the astrology channel. Of course, in the Real Tarot channel, which is this one, I do post weekly tarot readings for all signs, monthly and year ahead too. All right, I think I'm kind of gabbing on. Let's get to this. So today's reading is for Aaron Joseph Hernandez. He was born on November 6, 1989. Of course, all this information, his date of birth and his full name, was found on the internet. This case has kind of sort of haunted me for a little bit. I'm not too keen on football or baseball like a lot of people are. That's never been my sport of choice, but I will watch. I don't understand everything about these games. Of course I watch because my kids watch. I watch because Mark watches, and I understand basketball a lot better than, because I did play basketball, so I get it. But football and baseball, I've never quite understood it. Anywho, and of course, whenever we're watching either of these sporting events, the questions I ask Mark is always very funny and entertaining to him. And I keep telling him, I say, stop laughing at me when I ask these questions. I'm asking because I don't know. And he finds it very, very hilarious. Because, I'll make random comments like, well, I don't understand, excuse me, the passes and how they do it and the various players and all. I don't get all of it, y'all. I just don't. I have gone and watched college football too, just so you know. I've watched baseball too. In Southern California, I did go and watch one of those games. Oh my God, AT&T Stadium in Cali. What is it called? See, I couldn't even tell you. More for the tailgating, I'll be honest with you. So anyway, I do take a lot of interest in ice hockey. I love it. It's a lot of fun. I've watched a lot of those live games, while I was in Cali. Of course, the Anaheim Ducks, what can I say? Being from Southern California, right? So, but this case with regards to this young man, Aaron Joseph Hernandez, I read a little bit about it and then I was like, dude, how do you go and throw away your life? Like, how do you go and throw away your life like that? Again, granted, I don't know everything regarding his case, but based on what my knowledge is, and granted, my knowledge about this sport is very, very limited, I do believe he was fairly good at what he did, or kind of sort of good. Somebody correct me. I suppose I should have asked Mark to tell me a little bit about his abilities or his standing in football before I did this. But anyhow, this was an impromptu decision. But the fact that he committed suicide and all that kind of didn't sit very well with me. So, as a disclaimer, this is for entertainment purposes only. This is, based on my opinions and my observations. Do your own due diligence, do your own research, form your own conclusions, and, form your own opinions. This reading is not meant to in any way disrespect anybody, certainly not Aaron Hernandez or his family or his surviving, kid or child or daughter or whatever. This is not meant to in any way be disrespectful. It's just trying to understand the psyche of the man, what might have transpired in his head, and, that sort of a thing. Okay. So let's take it for what it is. And I need a sip of my, oh, y'all, I have to, do you see this big, okay. So this big jar is actually, here. This big jar is actually, oh my God, what are those called? The pasta sauce jars, right? So I repurpose it, y'all. I repurpose these kind of glass jars for any number of things. Rather than throw them away, I repurpose them for any number of things, So I had a very, very vague, weird, odd, intense craving for something acidic like lemon juice or lime juice. And I do drink it quite often, I have to say, but it was, sometimes I go through these phases, maybe my body is lacking something, and so, maybe the pH balance is off. I don't understand the science of it, and I get this intense craving. So 2-3 days I'll crave it and then I'll be fine. I just have, this concoction. So what this concoction really is, and this is one of those glass recycle straws. What this concoction is, the lime juice you get in those little green bottles at the grocery store. I always have one at home. When I have fresh lime at home, of course I do all that, but when I don't, I use this. I pour, oh my God, this is supposed to be a reading about Hernandez, and we're going into recipes here. Anyhow, I take a shot glass, any regular shot glass. I have those plastic disposable ones, a little shot glass, and I measure 1.5 of those shot glasses of this straight up lime juice or lemon juice, whatever you want to call it. Drop it in this, then I put a little bit of Himalayan salt, and I put in sugar per taste. I don't really like too much sugar. So for this much of water, I don't even know what the measurement is. I couldn't tell you. For this much of water, and of course I fill it up with water. I use 2 packets of, what is that sugar you get, the alternative, the natural sugar extract, the one in the green packet. Oh my God, what is it even called? It's not that the stuff that you get in restaurants where they put them in pink packets. I forgot, and I'm not going to get it. And then I put a little bit of pepper, and if I have raw ginger, I cut a slice and drop it in this, but I didn't have raw ginger today, so I had ginger powder. I put a little bit of that. This, y'all, in summertime, it is so, so good. It is so healthy. It cools you down. And I do have a little bit of pepper at the bottom, which I do appreciate. And also on days when my tummy is a little kind of, I feel nausea or whatever, this really helps. So there you go. Oh yeah, I will certainly put the timestamp because I don't think y'all will be interested in my little recipe. So that way y'all can, get straight to the reading, right? Okay, let's see. I think I want to wear these glasses. It's a very unfortunate thing, right? He went to prison and for the murder of somebody and whatever. So, all right. So let's get on with this. Yeah, as usual, my sniffles, right? I've said my prayers, I've done my thing, the usual, my cleansing thingamajiggies, all that. Let me just... Oh! Right? Oh, hello. There. So now you can see. No, computer, don't go off. trying to, yeah. All right. Wait. There you go. Now you guys can see. Guys and gals, right? Venus, Mars, November 6th, right? Oh, I didn't do the math. Hello. 17, that is... 8th house. Hang on, you guys. I forgot to do this. I should have done this before I started, but 10 plus 11 is 21, 22. That is 4. Okay. 12, 17. Mm-hmm. Eight, no, 5, wait, 9, 4, oh my God. So for him, I see that his 4th house and his 8th house. So 4th house would be his emotions, his home, his mother, family roots. You know, some of the subjects of the 4th house are aspects of the 4th house, affairs at the end of life, etc. And 8th house talks about wills, secrets, death, regeneration, finances, sexual energy, occult, etc., etc. So being a Scorpio, his 4th house would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, Aquarius. So 4th house equals Aquarius, okay? And then his 8th house, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8th house is Gemini, okay? Now, for Scorpio, the ruler of Scorpio, the rulers of Scorpio are Mars and Pluto. And the ruler of Aquarius is Saturn and Uranus. And the ruler of Gemini is Mercury, as we know. Well, we do have Pluto here and Mars. So clearly, oh, I am getting, oh my goodness. Ah, do you all see it? I don't suppose you can on the cap. Anyway, so we have Mars and Pluto, and then we have Venus show up. So Venus is definitely something to do with a female entity, a female figure. It has something to do with finances as well. And it could be a mother, it could be a wife, it could be a daughter, because that represents feminine, right? So, and Venus is all about the earth sign, and you know, it represents finances and all the good things and comforts in life. So, wow, interesting that he has Pluto and Mars show up. So Pluto talks about regeneration, and Mars, as we know, is a god of war, taking action, wanting to regenerate, taking action. But it's very interesting, very, very interesting, because between Pluto and Mars, he's got that earth sign over there, I mean the Venus over there, which signifies female, mother, significant other, girlfriend, daughter, you know, female figure in his life. We have 3, which, as we all know, is the Empress, ruled by Venus again. Which one is this? The Magician, right? And the Death card. Ooh. Buddy, seriously? All right. So let's take a look at this. Oh my goodness, why am I feeling cold all of a sudden, y'all? 3, the Empress, right? Ruled by Venus. It talks about luxury, it talks about pregnancy, it talks about abundance, it talks about a feminine entity in his life. And then we have the Magician. The Magician talks about somebody who has the ability to create something, the ability to summon new ideas. It talks about somebody who is very, very masculine. Also could be a little bit egotistical, that machoism, that sort of a thing. False sense of ego, right? False sense of power. Then we have 13, which is the death card, and that does talk about change and rebirth. Now, Pluto, as we know, Pluto is also about regeneration, right? So, change, rebirth, correct? So, it's very interesting. He has 3, the Empress under Pluto, and then he's got the Magician under Venus, and then he's got the Death card under Mars. This is very interesting. I'm very intrigued by this. Which one do I want to read? I'm not so sure. Hang on one second. I'm trying to figure out which one do I want to see. No, I don't think I want to use that. I don't know, y'all. It's okay. I wouldn't be surprised if Bunny chooses to stay out of the room. I wouldn't be surprised. I can just tell sometimes the energies. It's so weird, but it had everything to do with the child, wanting to safeguard the child. Yes, y'all, yes. You know that whole drama about him having killed somebody or attempted to kill somebody? I think he did, right? He was responsible for the death or murder of somebody else, correct? Yeah, very justified. Very, very justified in the sense, no, hear me out. I'm not saying the fact that he killed somebody is justified. That's not what I'm saying. The accusation that he killed somebody is justified, which means that yes, he did. Okay, I just want to make sure, because people, they misconstrue everything because they want to. It's just weird. So we have the 10 of Cups. Okay, we have the 10 of Cups. We have the 6 of Cups. Oh my God. And then the Chariot card. Let's take a look at this. I am going to say with the 10 of Cups, it has definitely got to do with overwhelming need to regenerate something that was broken down in his family environment, meaning he wanted to resurrect, he wanted to reconfigure, he wanted to build up again. The overwhelming emotions with regards to that, and also with regards to that female figure. So I don't know if that, was he engaged or was he married, or did he just have a girlfriend? Y'all, I promise I don't know, because like I said, I don't follow these players and all that like that. I just don't. Then we have the 6 of Cups. There is this great, great, great need for him to have wished that he could have turned back the clock. I wished he could have gone back to the drawing board and started afresh. There is a lot of regret as far as that is concerned. And I want to see... Now, I'm also going to say that this house of his is very, very significant. This house is being very, his home, his house is very, wherever he lived before he went to prison, that he called home, the physical structure. There's a lot that happened, and then you have the Pluto and the female over there. So I feel like a lot transpired in that house that changed a lot of things as far as his life was concerned. And there were a lot of displays of excessive displays of excessive emotions. I don't know, y'all. That's the only way I can say. Sip up my juice. There we go. I can't even tell how many whatever ounces this is. put a little too much salt in this today. And then we have the Six of Cups. Six of Cups falls right under, as you all can see, the Venus and the Magician, correct? Here, I think I'd show you all the cards, so you all can see, right? All right, I'm trying to hold it all together and be better. I don't know, the past few days I'm being so particular and fussy about how my cards lay on the table and how I set them. It's the weirdest thing. I never used to be this psychotically anal about it. I mean, you know, fussy, but I don't know what's going on with me, but maybe I'm picking up somebody's energy and that energy hasn't okay. Yeah, don't ask me why I'm being like this. I'm not even going to get into it and analyze myself, but here we go. Okay, of course y'all can see when I set the cards down, you know. Okay, so with the Venus, the Six of Cups and the Magician card, there is this great sense of wishing things were a little different. He does feel that he made some erroneous decisions and he wished he could have gone back and changed them. Well, a little too little, a little too late, buddy, right? Which is very unfortunate because he has come to realize that. But I will tell you, this dude had a lot of margin energy in him, a lot of that inflated sense of ego. And I am going to tell you that he would have been a very, very intense lover, significant other, boyfriend, husband, what have you, fiance, what have you. But at the same time, I would not be surprised if there were certain elements of violence in the relationship, be it physical, emotional, mental, or environmental. I'm just saying it. Then we have Mars, Death, and the Chariot card. So there is clearly something to do with a car. So either something very tragic transpired in a situation. It's clearly here. You have Mars, you have Death, and then you have the Chariot, which is a Cancer card, and he's a Scorpio, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, ninth house. While he was either traveling or somebody was traveling and something violence occurred. Either he's the one who perpetrated, he's the perpetrator, he's the one who caused, who was instrumental in the occurrence of the crime, meaning he was a criminal who caused that crime or took that criminal action, and something transpired with regards to where the automotive was used as a primary source of evidence. Somebody died while somebody died, or somebody was attacked while they were driving a car or while they were in the car. Something tragic happened and while they were moving. This automotive is being very, I don't know the whole thing, y'all. I have to go back and look online and see what the whole story was, but I guarantee there's something to do with this. This is the weirdest thing. I'm sure you folks will let me know, but weird energy. I'm really surprised he committed suicide though. I'm really surprised. So this is the Knight of Swords, right? Oh, let's just do that. Knight of Swords. Queen of Swords. I'm going to take this card. The Tower card. Oh my goodness, are you for real? So the Knight of Swords, very charming individual when he wanted to be. When he wanted to be very charming, he could be very charming. He could charm the pants off anybody. I mean, I don't mean it in a sarcastic manner or in a disrespectful manner or whatever, but very charming. If he turned on the charm, he had it. He could be very charming when he wanted to. And he was, and that's what kept his significant other in the relationship, because he had this ability to turn on and turn off the charm, and that very intense type of personality. Then you have the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords under Venus, the Six of Cups, and the Magician card. This is clearly his significant other, or his fiance or his girlfriend or whatever. No, what do you want? What do you want, baby? Why do you do this to me every time I have a reading to do? Come here, let me get those boogers off your eyes. Come here. Stop moving. I can't stand. Stop. Nasty. Stop moving. Okay. I have a reading to do. Can you wait? No, you got to go wait. Go wait. Watch out. Okay, he needs to, per usual. He does this all the time. It's attention seeking. My God. Hang on, y'all. You want a treat? Boy, you are terrible. Watch out. So is that a bride? Huh? Puppy? You do realize that you are extremely spoiled. Okay. Oh my goodness. Y'all, let me tell you. This little Saint Bernard of mine, I mean, he's not little. He's close to 150 pounds. Right? So basically he wrangled a treat out of me now as bribe. So he's going to leave me alone for a little bit. So he's had his walk. He's had his 15 minutes in the sun. See, now he's going to come down and quietly lay down here. Watch. So he had his walk in the morning, potty break, all that. He's had fresh food, fresh water. He had his opportunity to go sit in the sun and kind of, he likes to sunbathe. He got a good brush. And now he's going to sit here quietly. It's unbelievable. Let me show you. He's sitting here by the window and looking out. That was his way of saying, oh, you want me to be quiet? I will be quiet, but you need to bribe me. So now he's going to leave me alone. Y'all, I'm telling you, this puppy... Yeah, don't laugh. I got a whole bunch of stuff going on over here. Okay, let me show you. Oh, the ring light. That's him. Now facing out the window. Just now, real time I took this picture. I'm telling you, this boy, he is so... Bernard, you got your mom very well trained. Good for you, boy. Alright, let's get on with this. This Queen of Swords falling under Venus and the Six of Cups. And of course, the Magician card. I do believe his relationship with the significant other was also very, very, very passionate, very, for lack of a better term, a very, very passionate relationship, like intense, I suppose. Intense relationship. I'm also going to say that she wasn't necessarily on board with his shenanigans. Like, she definitely, whoever significant other was, she definitely had a lot of questions, a lot of doubts, and she kind of matched him also in terms of his mentality or character traits or temperament were concerned. She wasn't easily intimidated by him, even though, see, that's the issue. This was almost a codependent relationship, even though there might have been a case or situations where they had, I don't doubt that there was some sort of an abuse in the relationship. To what extent, I don't know. Physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, environmental abuse, I don't know. But there was. But still that intense draw is there. Right? And it's a weirdest kind of a codependent, toxic type of a relationship. Then you have the Tower card, which falls under Mars, the Chariot, and of course the Death card. Clearly, this goes to show that yes, he did cause somebody's death. He did take somebody's life. He did go down that path of, I can do whatever I want, that Martian energy, that I'm bold, I'm big, I'm bad, I can do what I want, I am who I am, I can get away with whatever, and a little bit of a bully too. And with the Tower card, it shows absolutely Tower card, the Death card, okay, the Chariot and Mars, absolutely. Tower card talks about, again, it's a Mars card, and it says disillusionment of a partnership or a structure or a home or a life. It's coming to end. So you have double Mars, okay? The Mars, look at this. Of course, I got it here on the table. So I'll show you these cards. You got Mars, correct? We have that. Then we have the Death card, correct? The ending of a particular situation, relationship, life, what have you. Then you have this guy, right? Which is the Chariot card, okay? And then you have the Tower card. I'm going to say that the moment he got caught, if you will, is the moment that really in his head he had decided how he wants to be taken out. How he wants to go. He knew there was no getting out of it. He knew it. And he's like, now I have to play my cards right so that, you know, my family don't suffer. All this is, I don't want it to be for naught, whatever little I have. You know, that whole drama about he committed suicide so that his daughter would get his insurance. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he did it for the daughter. Because he must have thought, you know, if nothing else, then at least my life is over. I'm fried basically. So, you know, let me at least do this for my daughter. You know, that sort of a thing. King of Swords. Lot of Swords energy. Look at this. Oh my goodness. The Emperor. Again, Mars. I can't believe it. He's got Mars, Pluto. Unbelievable. Lots and lots of Swords energy. Lots of Swords energy. And Cups. The only thing he doesn't have here is Pentacles. I'm surprised none of the Pentacles cards have shown up, simply because we know at the end of it all, there was a lot of money that certain individuals benefited, right? Because of his death and his suicide, etc. So we have the King of Swords. Now the King of Swords talks about, you know, somebody who is very strategic in their thinking. The Emperor card talks, so it's an Aries card. It talks about having the leadership qualities, having the ability to accumulate wealth. And the Four of Cups, as we all know, the Four of Cups is, you know, feeling apathy, unfulfilled, feeling like you lost opportunity, or not completely fulfilled, you didn't get everything that you were expecting, that sort of a thing. So I do believe it was very, very planned, absolutely planned. He had every intentions. Once he got caught, once he was arrested and he realized that basically, you know, he's done for, then he's like, okay, step 2 or plan B, right? And with the Emperor card, that's the only slight Pentacle card I get, because with the Emperor card, it says has the independence, does have the leadership qualities, and has the ability to accumulate wealth. This is the briefest hint of finances. Then we have the Four of Cups, right? Again, there's a lot of cups over here, and a lot of Mars, and oh my goodness. How old was he when so he was born in 89 and he was 27 when he passed, right? 27, 9. So 9, Cancer, yes. The 9th house is Cancer, and the 9th house does talk about the intellect. It talks about, of course, the father, distant travel, higher education, all that stuff. His intellect. Y'all, he thought I'm going to say this and people are going to get mad at me, at least all his fans. Look, like I said, I don't know this man in person, and I'm not in any way trying to be disrespectful. I'm just doing a tarot reading for him, okay? Because I think the fact that he committed suicide took a lot of people by shock. They thought, okay, Aaron Hernandez, he went to prison because of whatever murder, attempted murder, whatever that drama was. And he's going to be in prison. He's going to get away with it. He's going to have somebody come and bail him out. And I don't even know how good he was as an athlete, as a sports person. I honestly couldn't tell you. But I'm sure a lot of people did think for a brief period of time that he's going to serve time and he's going to get out of it, and he was still young and he would still have had an opportunity to join the league or not. I don't know if they would allow him to or not, all that I don't know. But I also feel that at some point in time something else transpired. I do believe that either it was talk or it was allegations that he could have been related to other such criminal cases and could have been directly involved or indirectly involved, almost like a ringleader type of thing for other cases, and he could have had some other shenanigans go on. That's when people were like literally wash their hands off of him. And when they washed their hands off of him is when he decided to say, I'm done for. I am completely burnt now. It's over and done with. Now plan B. This is what I'm going to do. Basically, flying fiddlesticks it all, I should say, if you seek it all, this is what I'm going to do. If you seek it all, if you know what I mean. I can't say those words. It wouldn't be right. Oh, I put too much salt. But it's nice. Not really too bad. The Himalayan salt hasn't completely melted. Ooh, it's nice and tangy. Okay, I'm getting off subject. This is very unfortunate because I do believe if this... Hang on one second. Let's do this. Hang on. Ninth house again. So we have the 9th house again. Then we have the 8th house. This is okay. So Gemini, see that mercurial energy. 6th house, work, health, discipline, and habits. So see, then Mars energy and then Mercurial energy, very, very strong. This guy was one way or the other. I hate to say it, everybody. One way or the other, his trajectory was it's very unfortunate. So this is what happens when you don't have the right direction and people actually, guiding you and having a good positive influence on you. And this also happens when this is a sore subject, okay? I truly believe, in my humble opinion, when these young college kids, they get into the big leagues, right? The pro leagues or whatever leagues, and they see, hey, what are you doing? Are you chewing your nails? That is nasty. So these kids, they get into the big league, they sign these multi-million-dollar contracts, and some of them, are smart, sensible, very well grounded. They know how to manage money. They have parents, etc., or advisors or family members who are trustworthy, etc., who guide them and tell them what to do and not to kind of, go spend it all and do crazy stuff. But unfortunately, a lot of them don't have that guidance. And it's very unfortunate. I do believe, be it baseball, be it football, basketball, be it, hockey, whatever, soccer, whatever. I do believe the international leagues or the authorities have to make it mandatory that these young people, men, women, whoever, go through counseling classes as to how to manage the funds, what to do, what not to do, counseling, for lack of a better term, and to help them stay grounded and not, at the end of the day, it's their money, I get it, they earned it because of their prowess in their field. But to have somebody say, hey, listen, don't just go crazy and now you have all these multi-million dollars, just don't go spend it off willy-nilly. And of course, there are always going to be people who are coming out of the woodworks, right? Oh, I'm feeling cold, but I'm too lazy to go get a hoodie. Who are going to, there are always those people crawling out of the woodworks and trying to sponge off you and do all those things, and how to manage it and how to safeguard your thing, because at some point in time you are going to retire, right? So if you blow up all your money now, what's going to happen when you retire? How many times have we seen cases of all these so-called brilliant athletes who basically die paupers? And it happens in every industry, correct? So I really wish the sports authorities of all these various sports, whatever those people, organizations, authorities are called, they make it mandatory that these kids go through some kind of a financial counseling or, that sort of a thing, and help and whatever. It's very unfortunate because I do believe with this young man, he kind of, it went to his head. It really did go to his head, that success, that moment of, oh, I am Aaron Hernandez, whatever. It really, and there are always enablers who are like, oh, your poo don't stink, man. That too aggravates the whole situation. So I feel sorry for these kids, y'all. I do feel sorry for these kids. Shoot, he was 27 when he died. That is terrible. I don't even know when he died. Here, I'm not going to turn my computer because I've set when did he die though? Which year? Let me see. Give me 1 second. He was born in 89. Oh my God, he's a year older. Or 11. Wait. He's 8 months older than my firstborn son. Gone. Young kid. Shoot. Scary. Oh my goodness. He's just 8 months older than my firstborn child. I mean, it's so unfortunate, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do? That's when all the substance and this and that and all that drama starts creeping in because they feel they're invincible and enablers, needless to say. I'm going to do, it's very interesting but very, very unfortunate. He's not the first one to go down like that. He's not going to be the last one to go down like that. I'm going to pull a couple of cards really quick over here because I got distracted here by little Mr. Bernard wanting his and my rant about my juice or my lemon, I don't even know why I went to this. Sorry, y'all. Didn't intend to annoy y'all, but I'll put it on the timestamp. Oopsie, am I holding it upside down? So this is Gilded Regret in the reverse. Fated to Suffer. This card, Triumph of Lies. Gilded Regret in the reverse, Fated to Suffer in the upright, and Triumph of Lies. So Gilded Regret in the reverse, to me, that tells me is, did he regret having done what he did and, regret the actions he took? Somewhere in his brain was not wired to regret. He felt that he was justified in the act, that he was justified in his actions. Fated to Suffer, I'm going to say yes, unfortunately, one way or the other, he was not going to have longevity in his career. I don't foresee this young man would have lived past the age of 32. I don't think so, because crime would have somehow followed him. He would have somehow gotten involved in crime one way or the other. He's entwined with that. Then Triumph of Lies and the reverse, there was a lot of stuff that was floating around that people thought it was just, smearing his name and this and that. And unfortunately, no, y'all. Those weren't lies. He really wasn't the kind of person who was 100% above board, unfortunately. And those were decisions he took in his life. Did he have opportunities to change his trajectory and his path and move away from the crime and all that bullcrap? Yeah, he did. But that ego, that false sense of bravado, I am Hernandez, Aaron Hernandez, I can do what I want, and how dare you, and this, that, and the other, disrespect me type of thing, got him to be where he was. Now, where is my other little deck here? I'm just going to use this really quick over here to see if there's anything else I get. What are those? Those are just the... Oh God, the sickle. Oh, these two want to come out. I don't know what that is. And the whip. Yeah, it is a bit harsh. Very harsh. I'm going to look this really quick. I won't. Life taken too soon. Tried very desperately to move away from situations but could not at the very last minute. Held to a higher standard. Very exacting, seeking revenge. 10, 21, 24, 6. Sixth house talks about, yeah. Number. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, absolutely. With the sickle card right out of the bat, eventual outcome would have been death. Absolutely, I don't think he would have lived past 32. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, y'all. There was no way. Very exacting, very demanding, vengeful, wanting to settle scores. He was on that trajectory. You did me wrong, boy. I'm going to settle the score right now. With the sickle card, there is no denying the fact that his life would have been cut short one way or the other, by his own hand or by somebody else's hand. Absolutely, his life would have been cut short. Absolutely. So, he did try to get away from a particular situation, but I think it was at the very last minute. He was trying very hard to distance himself from certain occurrences, but he couldn't. He was too far invested. Very exacting. This guy was a little bit vengeful. Very, it's like, we need to settle the score. That type of an energy. What are you going to do? One way or the other, he would not have survived past the age of 32. He would have died of his own hand or by somebody else's hand. That was his destiny. Very unfortunate. I'm not going to read about his daughter and all that stuff. I just won't do it because she's just a child, and oh my God, we don't want to get into all of that. I'm going to pull a couple more cards for him and I'm going to close this reading out. But those allegations about him are absolutely justified. Page of Wands, Knight of Wands. Now all the action is coming out in the Hermit card. So with the Page of Wands, let me show you these cards and then I'm going to close it out with this. This is going to be, I feel it's going to go into an hour, but whatever. With the Page of Wands, I do believe that I wouldn't be surprised if there was somebody else too, a new kind of an interest, love interest, or somebody else who was also kind of getting entangled or involved with him in his life. The Knight of Wands does talk about, being a very free-spirited type of a person, wanting to take action. He did feel that with this new interest that he was kind of a little bit more able to be his free self. And then the Hermit card, oh my God, is a Virgo card. The Hermit card talks about, wanting to look inwards, wanting to find a way of healing, of figuring things out. But Virgo, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11th house. 11th house talks about like-minded people, groups and friends. Y'all, I want to say the people and around his circle, like his friends, were not necessarily all above board type of people. And what are the odds? Did they ever find out? There's something about the weapon that's still kind of a hazy thing. Either somebody else has a weapon or something about the gun or one gun or a gun that was involved in that whole thing. There's a big, still kind of a unclear thing about it. Very interesting. Very interesting. Something about a weapon, the weapon or a weapon that is still kind of hidden in terms of it hasn't been recovered, or it hasn't been it hasn't been completely disclosed, or something about it. There's something funny over there that's not much to. I'm going to take these cards. The 7 of Cups, gaslighting card. 8 of Cups. All Cups card. Look at that. So 7 of Cups, as we know, does talk about too many choices, commitment issues. 8 of Cups does talk about withdrawal, wanting to abandon things and move away from things. 9 of Cups does talk about, wishes coming true, abundance, material, good health and all that good stuff coming true. And then the Ace of Cups. Oh my God, are you serious? Are you serious? Like, how the hell do we go from that to all this overwhelming emotions? And finally a Pentacles card. Oh my goodness. So what this is telling me is clearly there were a lot of choices. He made the wrong decision. 8 of Cups, he had to abandon. He had to abandon his life as he saw it, as he wanted it to be. He had to abandon, he had to take a step, and therefore he committed suicide. 9 of Cups, yes, with the 9 of Cups, as we know in the traditional tarot, talks about wishes coming true, material abundance and good health. Yes, with the 9 of Cups, he knew that once he died, that his child or whoever was going to benefit from that. Absolutely, because he did end up leaving this Ace of Cups, this fantastic offer for her. And the 3 of Coins talks about collaboration, quality, craftsmanship with regards to money or finances. So definitely y'all, I definitely do believe that he did tell somebody, this is the only way out I see, and I don't mind doing it because of the money. Somebody was aware of the fact that there is a chance he's going to commit suicide, but they didn't take it seriously. Well planned and well executed. He did. Somebody knew. He discussed it with somebody, and he did say, this is my only choice, and I will do it, because that way, to heck with it all, FUCK it all, at least let my daughter benefit from this. I don't care about anybody. And they were like, no, Erin, no. And then they were like, no, he's not going to do it. He's got too much ego, too much pride to do it. But he was like, screw it, I'm going to do it. And he did. And by that, he did offer that fulfilling, fantastic opportunity for his daughter. And he did offer, with his passing, that offer was also financial gift, right? And definitely ensured that there were people there. Somebody else has also benefited from this. Absolutely, somebody else has benefited from it, not just his daughter. So it's very unfortunate, but it is what it is. What are you going to do, right? So I'm going to stop this at this. I hope you enjoyed the reading. It's very unfortunate, right? Because at the end of the day, that poor baby lost a dad for no fault of hers, right? What did she didn't she was in no way, shape, or form responsible for how her father turned out to be what he was, right? So it's unfortunate for her, very, very unfortunate. She's going to grow up knowing that her father, Aaron Hernandez, good footballer, he ended up doing what he did, and I'm sure that's going to be traumatic for her, and I hope she has the support that she needs, and she should have to be able to live a good life and not be judged for, not have to pay for the sins of her father, if you will. It's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. So I'm going to stop at this, and thank you so much for watching. Do give me a thumbs up, do subscribe, leave your comments below. I do appreciate you all, and I will see you in the next video. So let's stop this simultaneously, right?